What to do, YouTube? My name is Jinxed, and this is going to be a very, very different video than any of the updates or anything else I've done on my channel for a while. This is a video I've been wanting to do for a long time now. I'd probably say over 7, 8 months. I've been kind of keeping it on a back burner just because I wanted to have like a milestone to hit first. I mean, technically, I haven't really hit a milestone. I mean, I hit over 400 videos, which is awesome. So I guess you can consider this my 400th video special. And as you can see in the title above, this is my life as a gamer. So this is just going to be a quick synopsis of my life and the things that I have been through with video games and what has led me to identify myself as a gamer and things of that nature. Hopefully, as long, because I'm uploading literally straight from YouTube, I'm using their camera uploader thing, as long as it lets me, I'm going to go as long until my story is finished. So this is the story. If you're just here to see if there's any updates or anything like that, or there's a, you can just go ahead and skip on to the Puppetcraft video that I just got done uploading. If you are curious about, I don't know, questions in my personal life, stop here and listen. You might, it might be answered for you. I guess that's pretty much it. I have a bullet point system, which is technically only 3 bullet points, which gets broken down into little details so I can keep myself on track instead of just like going from like one thing to another, to another, to another, back to the first thing. This video could be 15 minutes, it could be 20, it could be an hour. I actually have no idea. As long as YouTube doesn't stop me, I'm going to go, like I said, until my story is done. And if it does stop me, then this will probably put on the back burner until I have a way to record from my webcam onto my computer and then upload it to YouTube as a file. But I'm just going to go ahead and try this out because I started to talk about it in my latest Puppetcraft recording, so I figured I might as well just go ahead and roll with it. But this video is my life as a gamer. I guess it started back when the original Quake came out, which was like I had a bunch of pages up, the Wikipedias for like Quake and Doom and all that. But we had 2 computers in my home, and it was originally me, my 2 brothers, and my sister. So that's 4 kids, and we only had 2 computers, which was, I guess, technically back for like 1996 to 1998. That is a pretty big deal because in school when I talked to people about like what I'd done over the weekend or what I'd done over the summer, no one I was like, dude, what's a computer? Dude, that doesn't even make any sense. I've never heard of that. Also, side note, real quick, this is the only time I'm ever going to do this, I promise. I realize technically most really big YouTubers are a lot older than me by either a couple years or 10 to 20 years. I am technically probably a younger YouTuber in my eyes. I'm only 20. I'm turning 21 next year. But yeah, so back on track. So I grew up playing the original Quake and Doom before I even started like really watching TV. Which is also where my cooperativeness in like I explain that a lot comes from, is because I never liked to play the single player campaign of Quake alone because I was too scared because I was too young. So I always wanted to LAN with my brother and do the campaign together and beat it on like the hardest difficulty, which was always super fun. I always had a blast with it. And anytime we weren't doing that, it was me and my brother Chris, who is the second oldest. Go. It goes Josh oldest, then Chris, then my sister, and then me. I am the youngest. I'm the baby. But so it was always me and Chris playing together, and occasionally Steph and me would trade out, who's my sister. We would trade out all the time, just me and her, because I guess in order of drive and like ingenuity and creativity in their life choices and knowing what they wanted to do, first place goes to Josh, and then Steph. And then, I don't know, the other 2, me and Chris, we flip-flop, I guess, all the time. I actually have no idea. My family will tell you probably a totally different list, but that is the list I see in my own mind. So, me and him would always play Quake and Dooms together, and I would always try to do co-op, but he was always more on the competitive side, and since he was a lot older and played a lot more and understand the controls and like tricks to the game like crouch jumping and strafing like that, he would always beat me. That's why I would always elect to play the campaign cooperatively. That way I can get better as a gamer and hone my skills without totally destroying my self-esteem. I guess this is the funny part. Okay, so like I said, I grew up playing video games. It's just what I did. I was that guy in school, which no one wanted to talk to. No one knew what gaming was. I mean, like, yeah, people knew about Nintendo 64s, but that's about, like, as far as they went. I am, like, just after the Dreamcast generation. I'm, like, literally Sega and Nintendo 64 generation is where I was at with being a kid. And then, of course, we got your, like, PlayStations and PS2s that came out, like, 1999 and 2000, and the GameCube, and the original Xbox, things like that. But my whole life, I was in the shadow. If you've ever seen the movie Thor or even the Avengers recently, I always identified with Loki because I know the feeling of being a shadow to someone who is more impressive and bigger and stronger and smarter and more successful than you. So you just kind of get shut out and pushed away, and like, it's like, oh, hush, hush, hush. We don't want to hear about your story and the things you've done today. You're boring. We want to hear what this guy's doing over here. But yeah, so it's funny though. The first time I ever like really identified myself as a gamer, I guess I was like 12 to 13, maybe even 14, early 14-year-old. I went over to my grandma's because we always have on my mom's side. We always have family get-togethers for like every holiday. It doesn't matter. Labor Day weekend, we have a family get-together. Everyone goes over there, and we had a new baby cousin who was like, I don't know, maybe 6, 7 years old, and he loved Blue's Clues. So that was the first time I'd ever seen Blue's Clues. It was also the first time I'd ever seen Power Rangers, was when I was like 14 years old, because I grew up just playing games on the computer. And as time grew on, playing with other people became more distant, so it became more acceptable to me personally. So I guess nothing really changed. I started out hardcore PC, like I said. I was hardcore Quake when it came out for the PC, and playing all the Dooms on the PC with my brother. From there, it went to consoles. Then I went to play a lot of Nintendo 64 by myself. GameCube by myself. PlayStation 1 by myself. PlayStation 2 by myself. Unfortunately, we never really had any Microsoft, like the Xbox or Xbox 360 systems in our house, like, forever. I think the first one we got was an Xbox 360, and that was like literally 4 years ago. That was also my brother's doing, so it's not here. I'm just me and my computer still back to it. But so I started with the Nintendo 64 playing Zeldas extremely. I fell in love with Zeldas. Conker's Bad Fur Day. I think that was pretty much it. We didn't really have too many games. Oh, the Smash Brothers. What do you want to call it? Smash Brothers. What's the word I'm looking for? The Smash Brothers games, though, we also played a lot of those. And the Mario Karts, we maybe had a Mario Party. But pretty much it was literally just like Zelda Ocarina of Time, Zelda Majora's Mask. You had, I don't know, maybe a Pokemon Snap, a Pokemon Stadium game. You had Conker's Bad Fur Day. I think I maybe got a Power Ranger game once because I got into like Power Rangers when I was 15, which is probably the worst thing to get into as like a teenager going into like middle school / high school. It was really embarrassing. I kept that to myself a lot, like I do a lot of things I keep to myself a lot. But it did, I think gaming made such an effect on my life and became such a core thing because, like I said, I was living in a shadow of someone who was better and stronger and faster and smarter and more successful, so I went to gaming because gaming I could be whoever I wanted to be. I could just be myself, but people would actually take notice of me. Or, I could play Zelda where I'm a young kid who is like the most badass motherfucker who, slays, zombies and mummies and, random Deikus and spiders and solving puzzles. Or, I can just be a Power Ranger, since I was just talking about that. I'm a Power Ranger. I can be a Power Ranger going around kicking bad guys' asses for fun. Yeah, so it definitely played a huge role in my life. I probably would have hated my life so much more if it wasn't for gaming. And I talk to this about people occasionally. They're like, because some people are curious, like, why do you like playing games so much? And I think because of Living in Shadow and me using it to comfort myself, it became my passion. It became what I was good at. It became what I was known for. It became me. But I try to tell people this all the time. It's like, you shouldn't use gaming to run away from problems. You shouldn't use gaming to ignore life. If you have issues, you need to fix them. Don't use gaming as an excuse not to do something or not to be who you want to be. Don't do that. I mean, if you want to get technical, I did that, but it became my passion, though, so it doesn't bother me. Though, when I was growing up in high school, in middle school, and elementary school, being a gamer and not having anyone to relate to, like, pretty much period, was really stressful. You didn't have many friends. You didn't. It just came with the territory. It was fine. I know as the years go on, gaming gets more respectable, and more people do it, and more people admit to it, and you have a conversation being like the straight-A student and the jock talking to each other about, like, like Gears of War 4 or whatever, or Borderlands 2, which just came out, which I was really excited about. But so finally, when it got to a point where I was less and less able to get the things I wanted, just because that's life. You don't always get what you want, which I'm totally fine with. But it got to a point where I am going into I was going into 7th grade with a piece of shit computer, only still playing like the original Doom and Quake, maybe like the random sim game or whatever, while everyone around me is starting to talk about gaming, but it's not the gaming I know. It's not the gaming I am proud of myself for and pride myself on, because it doesn't matter who you are, or what games you play, or what console's your favorite. You are a fanboy. You may love them all, but you have that special one that you will always go to. And for me, it's PCs. I just love them. I've always loved them. They're just my favorite. I love being able to personalize it. I mean, yeah, you can like paint on your Xbox or whatever, but on the inside, it's gonna be the same as another Xbox. You can have totally different parts in 2 different PCs, 2 different cases, 2 different everything, which I always found really cool. So everyone around me in 7th and 8th grade and pretty much onward up to still currently, everyone started to talk more and more about games, but it was, your Gears of War, it was your Halos, your Xboxes, Xbox 360s, PlayStation 3s, your Uncharted series. And it was nice to be able to talk to people, finally, about gaming and how, like, oh man, this was such a fun game to play, it was so much fun, I loved it. But I couldn't actually be a part of that conversation because I never played it, and I never heard about it, and it wasn't in my social scene because I was a PC gamer going in chat rooms on IRC having, conversations with random people and then hopping into a Quake match with them. So finally, I guess about my freshman year, because through elementary and middle school, you literally had the same exact class the whole time through. I went to 2 totally different schools, of course. I had an elementary school and a middle school that weren't attached at all. But thankfully, everyone from my elementary school went to my middle school. And when I went to high school, this was the first time that I wasn't going to have anybody. I had me and my best friend I had for 3 years, and that was it. who thankfully lived down the street and had an Xbox, so I frequently went over. But most of the time, we just played like random cooperative games like Sims and like a bunch of random stupid things that most people don't admit they talk about. You can talk to a gamer and they'll be like, yeah, I've never played a Sim, but deep down he spent hours playing Sims, being someone he wishes he could be, and it was being charismatic and has like 6 wives or whatever. But so I went into high school with just me and my best friend, who soon after left. Like, he literally left maybe 2 months into the year. Just, like, it wasn't his fault. Family had problems. They had to move. He went out of city, period. I had no way of contacting him at all. This was before Facebook and MySpace. Well, maybe not before MySpace, but being a gamer, I put myself on a pedestal. I was I was higher than MySpace and Facebook, or well, at the time probably just MySpace, because Facebook wasn't out yet. I don't even think my Facebook was around till like my sophomore, maybe even my junior year in high school. But so since I was now fully alone, hearing other people talk about video games in high school, YouTube had just started getting kind of big. I may have went to YouTube every now and then, like previously. I don't even know when YouTube started. YouTube may have started in like 2000, I don't know, 2002 or something when it first came out. But I mean, I probably started watching YouTube videos, I don't know, maybe 2006. Yeah, it was probably about 2006. That was my freshman year. But even then, it wasn't even gaming. I was just watching. I got sucked into peer pressure, which sucks to admit now, but I did. Because the internet and everything about it started becoming more acceptable, and it came to the point where everyone started talking about viral videos, which were these crazy videos on the internet that were like, I don't know, 30 seconds to maybe 4 to 6 minutes long tops, that were just the funniest thing ever. And pretty much the only person anyone really knew that was on YouTube for a while, that like you could say their name and everyone knew who they were, was Ray William Johnson. So I started out not even watching gaming videos. I didn't want to be a person that just watched video games being played, especially something that's not even on the PC, because most things on YouTube then, even though like it was really hard to do capturing and things like that, most people still just recorded Xbox games and PlayStation games, things like that, and uploaded those. And I wanted to keep my PC gaming mentality and my PC gaming image. But thanks to my cousin, actually, he always started talking about a YouTuber he was watching play a video game of his that we both liked. I don't recall who or what it was anymore. It was so long ago. It was some small YouTuber that I bet. Oh, I remember now. Okay, he's still a big YouTuber. Dark Side Phil. A new game came out that neither of us got to play, so we were watching Dark Side Phil play it, who, if I remember correctly, is still a pretty big YouTuber. He does commentary LPs. Like I've talked about before, they're two different, like, very different, the dogs are barking now. They're two very different themes or groups when it comes to gaming on YouTube. You have your Let's Players and your commentators, and then you have your playthroughers. That's just raw footage of the video game, no one talking, that way you can immerse yourself in the story. And I preferred the playthrough at the beginning. Honestly, I hated Dark Side Phil, but he was the only one really putting up like AAA new gaming content there for a while when I started watching him. But he sucked so bad, and he wouldn't stop talking, and it made me so mad. And we would always tell stories to each other. Oh yeah, we were watching him play this, and he just wouldn't shut up, and he sucked, and he couldn't find this. And it was a really fun time. So I started to watch gaming videos from there on out. For a while there, I'm not gonna say I'm a good or a pro gamer or an awesome gamer. I like to think I'm a decent gamer, and I do try, and I put effort into anything I do when it comes to video gaming. Um, but thanks to my cousin, actually, we started talking, I guess, 2010, maybe 2009, when I was pretty close to graduation, about how people are starting to get paid on YouTube, because I started watching a lot of people on Machinima in their channel, because their channel started getting big and getting some traction. They actually showed me my favorite group of StarCraft 2 commentators and just all-around LPers. And the StarCraft 2 commentators, it's a Life's a Glitch TV. They aren't even really a part of Machinima. I mean, they kind of are. They have like one series that goes up like once every 6 months. That's like 5 episodes long. Called When Cheese Fails. If you don't know what StarCraft 2 is, you should definitely go look it up. It is a really fun game. I play it. If I had a better PC, I would record it too, and I'd show you about it. I suck at it. And then the other group of just general LPers is the Creatures, which I'm sure most of the people who watch gaming videos, period, know about, because that is a big group of people. You know, you have Kutra, Uber Hexernova, Gassy Mexican, Dan's News, Z-Royal Vikings, Spoonerism. Am I missing one? Sly. And for those Creature fans who are watching right now, I realize that some of these next people I'm going to list off, their Creature status is very, you know, in and out, in and out, in and out. Chilled Chaos. What was that guy's name? What was his name? I can't remember his name anymore, but I used to watch him. He was a really kind of crappy gamer. He's a really older fellow. He used to live near Kutra. God, what was his name? I can't remember. And I remember there was one more I used to watch hardcore, but it was mainly for his podcast, and that was Woody's Gamer Tag. But that was pretty much all I watched. I'm very high pedestal when it comes to a lot of things I do and watch, where I will pick what I want to see, and that is all I watch, and everything else is blasphemy. I need to crack my neck. Oh, yeah. Oh, I felt good. Alright. So that's pretty much all I watched. For the longest time, it was literally just, I wouldn't even watch any other Creatures. It was just Uber Hacks or Nova, Spoonerism, and that was pretty much it of the Creatures, and then, like, Woody's Gamer Tags podcast. But where was I? Let's see. Let me go to my notes. So finally, I guess, like I said, 2009, maybe early 2010, me and my cousin, we were, of course, talking about YouTube again. And he was like, dude, you should do it. You should do it. You have the chops for it. You're better than most of the gamers that are doing YouTube things. You should do it. You should do it. You're also really funny at times when you go crazy, cuckoo bananas, or you get really tired. And you're super entertaining to play with and to watch play single-player games. And I was like, he had to hype me for it so bad, though. Like, it probably took me and him talking about it 2 to maybe even 5 months of us just talking about it, for me to even put up my first video without commentary. My first video, which came up like over a year and a half ago. I looked it up earlier and it was like February 11th of 2011 or something like that. So like, yeah, that was like over a year and a half ago. Yeah. And it was no commentary. It was just showing off some of the things I built in Minecraft I thought were really cool. And he even wrote on my channel because he was subscribing. He was my only subscriber at the time. I was like, dude, you should totally do commentaries and do an LP. And after he wrote that, I had like literally 2 weeks of just thinking to myself, making a game plan for my YouTube channel. It's like, I always hated watching gamers and YouTube gaming, to where even if they're really popular, like, you know, they're still always the 2 top-rated comments, which everyone uses to get, like, the same point out to their YouTuber. That way, like, they can't not see it. And I always hated, like, wanting them to do something and then them either ignoring it entirely or, like, acknowledging it and never doing it, which always just bugged the shit out of me. So my game plan was, I'm going to do videos starting out just doing my own thing. And as soon as I start to get a motion and start getting subscribers, I am going to let them decide what I do. And when I'm able to, let them decide what I play, how I play it. That how I play it part, like especially for newer games, I'm probably going to do two different things. I said this a long time ago in an update video. Whenever I'm able to, I'm going to have LPs and playthroughs go up at the same time of the same game with the same footage. The only difference is the LP is going to have my commentary, of course, and then the playthrough is just going to be the game itself. Because I still love both, depending on the game. Like if it's some cooperative multiplayer game, I'm probably just gonna leave it as an LP, right? I'm gonna commentate over it, what I'm feeling, what I'm gonna do, yada yada yada, what guns I'm gonna pick, which my favorite, yada yada yada. Like I'm playing Call of Duty online or whatever. But if it's like a Mass Effect game where it's a story, I'm gonna do both, just because I think that'd be a really cool idea, and I don't think anyone else takes the time to do that. And after I play it my way the first time, I said I have no problem going back, recording it, and doing it again a second time. Doing it the way you all want me to. Like, let's say you want me to play Mass Effect as some evil dude who just kills the shit out of everyone and hates everyone, lets everyone die. I'll play it a second time and record it doing it. That doesn't bother me at all. Because, I said this earlier today in one of my recordings of Puppetcraft. A lot of the time, especially when it comes to big YouTubers that are really big now, they weren't always really big. They were small, just like my channel is, just like other people's channels are. The reason why they're so big now is because they had the access and the tools to do these new AAA games as soon as they came out, which gets them all of the traffic. And people ask me and send me like messages kind of frequently, especially lately. They're like, dude, I love your videos. I can't believe you aren't like at, X amount of subscribers. It's like, double what I'm at, triple what I'm at, or whatever. And like, what the hell's wrong with YouTube? And I'm like, well, unfortunately, I don't have the tools to do anything more than Minecraft. And honestly, there's a lot of Minecraft content on YouTube. And depending who you watch, I don't know if anyone else is doing what I'm doing. Honestly, from what I've seen, no one else is doing what I do. Most people seem to just be either grouping up with people, doing custom maps, grouping up with people, just surviving randomly, having a good old fun time, building things, showing off their creations, or just doing their own thing solo with no one else's input, just doing it all by themselves. And I wanted to be different and unique, and I want my channel and my subscribers and my fans, people that watch me, I wanted them to be able to feel something more than just, me playing a game. I want you all to feel like you all have an impact in it. Whether it's just like telling me a location to build something in Minecraft, or maybe how I deal with a situation in a video game. But I got totally sidetracked. Fuck, what was I talking about? What was I talking about? Oh, okay, yeah. But yeah, so those messages, like, they made me feel really good, it just, like, did, like, strengthen my resolve that I'm not going to stop doing YouTube no matter what. As long as I have some way to do it, I am going to put as much effort into it as I can, because it is my passion. I love gaming. I love video gaming, whether it's actual esports, casual playing, strategic playing, trying to go pro playing. I'm just fans for all of it. And it makes me sad how I personally never thought that gaming would go anywhere, and especially now, looking back on it, I wish I could go back in time and smack myself in the face and say, dude, seriously, if you love gaming, go for it. Be who you want to be. Don't let peer pressure get to you. Don't hide what you love and be afraid of being found out just because you don't know how people take it. And if they don't take it well, then fuck them. But yeah, so thanks to my cousin, like I said, for pushing me to do this, and most currently my fiance, who also still, she's definitely been pushing me forward and believing in me, is seriously the world to me, especially for doing this, because honestly, especially when you're doing this, you kind of feel alone. As soon as I started, I figured like I signed my death warrant of loneliness, and I was going to be alone forever. So it's really nice to be able to find her who accepts me for me, and doesn't care that I want to do this as my living, and like I live to do it. It was really nice to be able to find someone who was like that. So when I started my gaming channel, like I said, my game plan was to let you all decide what I do as soon as I get traction, start getting comments, and people watching my videos, and finally being like, hey, I want you to do that and make this, which is really cool. I love all the comments you all give me. Seriously, it's like awesome. It fills me with such glee. It is the best feeling in the world. Let's see. Starting my gaming channel. I'm already at the bullet. I didn't write anything else. I just wrote starting my gaming channel. Wow. So I guess I could just talk about my channel in general. Yeah, I guess. So it got to a point where I got invited by Google to be a mini partner and put AdSense on my account, and honestly, I freaked the shit out. Not in a good way, in a bad way. Because I've had some run-ins with the internet police. I'm not gonna lie. I've had some run-ins with them, and it freaked me out. So like honestly, anything I do on the internet freaks me the shit out, and I feel like I'm gonna be taken advantage of, and it really sucks. I'm paranoid about it. Sue me. It's better to be paranoid though than just sign, anything and whatever. So they invited me to be like a AdSense partner or whatever to enable ads on my channel. This was before TGN though, of course. This was like, I don't know, 6-7 months ago maybe now. So halfway into my YouTube career, if you will. So I went and did that, and I had one video that didn't make sense to me. Like, I love watching a bunch of people play Minecraft and have a jolly good time, and honestly, I wasn't sure YouTube for me was ever going to go anywhere. But I had this one video, which is of course how you all probably have found me, and it's a Survival Ocean with me, Outrun Dragon, CJ Awesome, Rising Hell, and me. Just fucking around in that really, really small, cramped, like a 2x2 island with a tree and a chest on it, which now has like upwards of over 200,000 views. But it got to a point where I honestly lost all faith in me as a gamer, in my YouTube. Like, there's literally like 3 months to 5 months maybe I didn't upload anything. I was just like so distraught trying to pull my life together in any way, doing like random odd jobs, like just to be able to make it by, which I technically will probably go back to doing soon because I'm having issues with TGN. But and it sucked because like I said, like gaming is my thing. I became a gamer. It's who I am. It's what I breathe. It's what I dream about at night. But where was I? So finally, like, I just got really curious, and I got tired of waiting for my what do you call it? My ship to come, or whatever that analogy or that metaphor. Waiting for your ship to come in. Yeah, waiting. I was tired of waiting for my ship to come in, so I went and did some research and looked at channels like Machinima and Machinima Respawn, especially Machinima Respawn. Apparently they have a very loose way for you to get on slowly but surely, which I wasn't for, where like you can just send videos to them and then they will review them, and if they think it's good enough, they'll just post it on the channel, which hopefully will get you more, will get you more views and things like that. But any of the views and revenue they get on the video they uploaded to their channel of you don't get any of it. because you're not partnered. They don't have to. Whenever you send them the video for them to review, you're pretty much agreeing for them to fully use you, your name, your video, your content, not give you a dime because you don't have a contract with them. Yeah, so I started looking around hardcore, and like I honestly didn't find anything. The only places that I even found that were doing anything that would like take a gaming channel is Machinima, which I didn't want to be a part of because honestly they're so big. You know, you'd have to be screaming at the top of your lungs through a mic and an amp that's like a mile long to get a say of anything, just because of how big they are and how many new people they keep taking on, and how many old people, you know, they still have. So I didn't want to be a part of that. And I found Social Blade, I think, was the next stop for me. I looked at what they required you to have as a channel, and I was eligible. I applied. They accepted me, but I had another huge snag. I needed to have a bank account to be able to partner with them, which I did not have, and I didn't want to use someone else's because I would hate, you know, to have to deal with that financial bickering and whatnot. I just want to have control over my own money and my own things. So eventually, like I started doing odd jobs again, you know, even with Google AdSense, and it came to a point where, like, I don't know, a month later, I finally was able to open a bank account, and I was really excited. So then I was like, I'm gonna go sign my contract right now. Went to my email, went to go sign it, and it was like, oh, I'm sorry, this is no longer available. It is timed out. You've waited too long. I was like, great. And I figured they had some grace period for you being able to apply. So like, oh, I missed one. Okay. I guess this title is going to be My Life as a Gamer / YouTuber, by the way, because now I'm talking about YouTube a lot, which is kind of funny, but whatever. I applied to TGN before I applied to Social Blade, and it was in that like 2 to 5 month period where I wasn't uploading any videos, but I just had that one really popular video. But at the time, I only had like maybe 98,000 views or something abysmal like that. And they're like, the CEO emailed me. I was like, look, we understand you technically qualify, but it seems like your views are only from a video, and you haven't been active in kind of a long time, so unfortunately we just can't take you. I was like, well, fuck me. And like in the video, like it said something literally along the lines of, please, if you are serious, apply back in a couple months or something. And I was like, okay, great, fun. So about like a month later is when I applied to Social Blade, and then a month after that is when I tried to actually apply and sign the contract when I got denied. And honestly, I was heartbroken. It sucked. Like, that's another time again I seriously lost all faith, and I was just distraught and depressed, and it sucked. Because nothing's worse than having a passion, whether it be gaming or fashion, and then it just being shut down right in front of your eyes. It hurts. It hurts a lot. So that was actually 4th of July of this year when that happened. I don't know why that lined up so perfectly, but it was like, oh, I got money. I'm gonna go start a bank account right now and sign my contract. Yay! So I had to go sign it, and I was like, sorry. And I got no, wait, it was July 2nd. Yeah, it was like July 2nd or some bullshit like that. So I was really upset. I went back to TGN's website and I was like, screw it, I'm just going to reapply again, because I started doing videos like 5 out of 7 days of the week, which I try to do now every single day at like between 4:30 to or 4 p.m. to like 6 p.m. like y'all requested. So I reapplied to TGN like July 2nd, maybe July 3rd. And I was like really distraught, because I was like, and it's probably too soon to reapply because it's only like a month and a half if that. I was like, this sucks. This just sucks. Because I figured like they would just like see the email, dismiss it, and then be on their way. But July 4th, I woke up and, you know, started to, you know, get ready to hang out with family and do things like that. And I guess at about 12, maybe 1-ish, my family started showing up, and I went to go check my email one last time before I hopped off my computer, and what do you know? I had a TGN email saying, "You have been accepted." I got so excited and so pumped again. Um, it was honestly one of the greatest feelings ever, which is really, really kind of sad to think about still, how like being contracted or being contracted, getting a contract for your YouTube channel and like the things you've done on YouTube, like as someone who's not a big YouTuber, not me, like if I was explaining this to someone else, they'd be like, dude, that just sounds stupid. YouTube's dumb. I'd be like, well, that's your opinion. You're allowed to have it. But thanks for making me feel better. Ah. So I was really excited. So that all started like, I don't know, a couple months ago now, I guess. Actually, it wasn't too long. It was like 2-3 months. It was about 2 months. Yeah, about 2 months. Because I got partnered July 23rd fully with TGN, which is awesome. Woo! But it's just funny. And as I was saying in the Puppetcraft video, the only advice I can honestly, if anyone ever like asks, like, what's some advice you can give a upcoming YouTuber who wants to, get somewhere on YouTube and have an audience, and where I was like, be yourself, don't give up. You're gonna take a lot of shit from a lot of people, not just people on the internet, more likely your family, but you can't give up. There's gonna be a lot of talk that, yeah, it's gonna offend you. I've had people in real life, just like other people have, for those of you who know SSOHPKC, or Seamus, he's a creature. Honestly, I'm a huge fan of his. I've like watched all of his playthroughs, or almost all of them. I think I missed a couple really old Mario ones, but besides that, and the ones he had to take off for copyright when he got partnered with Machinima or whatever. But it got to a point, or more recently, it's like people have been telling me, like he said in past vlogs, were like, people like, get a real job, or when are you gonna get a real job? And it's like, well, fuck you. First off, you don't know what amount of effort and how much heart and care I put into what I do. But you just gotta let it roll off your shoulder and not let it affect you, because I've bowed down to peer pressure in the past, like I was talking about, and I stopped being me. I I started doing what everyone else thought was cool, watching viral videos and talking about those and popular movies and things like that. And I stopped caring about gaming just because I was alone and I wanted to fit in somewhere in high school. But you just can't give up. Just got to keep going. Just keep putting up videos no matter what. And the sooner you start, the better off you're going to be in the end, because you're not going to be perfect when you start out. You're never going to be perfect no matter what you do. I still feel like I have room to improve. I'm always going to feel like I have room to improve, and I'm always going to try to improve, whether it's the quality of the video, the way I edit, what capture system I use, whether it's recording devices like my headset. Eventually, I plan on testing out many different standalone microphones to test clarity and echo and background noise and things like that. So far, this is the best headset I've used, mainly because of background noise, because I used to have a huge problem with my older videos where you could hear the dogs barking, you could hear people talking in other rooms, you could hear the fan behind me just blowing on high. Matter of fact, this is getting hot in here. Jesus. But yeah, you just gotta start now and just keep going. Yeah, you gotta, take crap, and you're gonna take a lot of it. But you just gotta, take it and just keep pushing forward. I guess that is it. I don't think I actually really have anything else I wanted to talk about. Yeah, that is pretty much my life in whole, being a gamer and gaming. And a YouTuber, I guess, now too. Woo! YouTuber, yeah. But I guess that's all. So thank you all for watching. See y'all next time.